G'day guys, this is Nick at Stridewise.com, where I look at boots and apparel that's made to last. I'm here at Naked and Famous, SoHo in New York City, where I would consider the flagship selvedge denim brand, Naked and Famous, with Zeke. How's it going, Zeke?
How's it going?
I'm very well. Thank you for having us here.
Oh, thanks for coming by.
We are here to address the most important question that people often ask in the world of selvedge denim, which is basically denim that's made in a more old-fashioned way, more old-fashioned methods, and it's the way that people who buy it often prioritize getting nice faded denim. A lot of people buy like pre-faded jeans these days, but there are purists out there who want to earn their fades. They want it to be a reflection of the lives they've lived, and they want the jeans to be uniquely theirs and the fades to come from their own lifestyle. And that might sound silly to people who are completely strange to this kind of stuff, who are very foreign to it, but getting really good fades on raw denim is of peak importance. Of many people, it's the first thing in their minds when they purchase a pair of jeans. So Zeke, I'm here to ask you, there is a whole wall of faded jeans here. This is the wall of fades.
Exactly. Yeah.
Famously, just a very famous part of this store. How do you get the perfect fades on a pair of raw denim?
Well, the number one thing I like to tell people is not to worry about it too much. The fades are going to happen over time. They're still going to happen regardless of what you do. No matter how many times you wash them and wear them, they're still going to fade. So it's going to be a reflection of however you treated the denim. But if you want those really high contrast fades, you want some stuff like this with really dark darks and really light lines, the less you wash them, the more pronounced those lines are going to be. Particularly the initial wash. A lot of guys like to hold off as long as they can before they wash their jeans, myself included, to get those really sharp lines that you see. And then when you wash them, the fades are really going to pop out.
Okay, how long would that be? How many wears?
Well, so it's really gonna depend. Personally, I wear my jeans every day, and I go about 3 months in between washes. Any longer than that, and I find they start to get holes a lot quicker, they start to smell a little bit, particularly in the summer.
I've heard, because I know washing is a controversial question, and I've actually done a video with the CEO of Naked and Famous as well. No one's paying me for this, by the way, I just kind of like Naked and Famous. But there's a video up there, you can check that out. He talks about how often you should wash your jeans. Because a lot of people say they don't like to wash their jeans very often at all. But I've also heard that it comes a point when like the dirt and muck or whatever in the jeans can quicken the deterioration of the stitching and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Dirt and grime gets built into the fibers, and that makes them more brittle and more likely to tear. So over time, if you truly never wash them, you're gonna end up with a hole. But one of the great things about, raw denim like this is you're buying a really high quality product that you can easily repair and then keep wearing for a very long time.
With the not washing, I imagine you've met plenty of people who've gone like years without washing their jeans.
Oh yeah, in fact, I think this pair right here, this guy didn't wash it for a full year and wore it every day.
Okay.
So you can actually see, it kind of looks a little bit like brownish, and that's probably from the lack of washing. If you wash them more frequently, it's probably going to brighten up the blues a little bit, and the whites are going to be a little bit more of a pure white.
Okay, so you, as the representative of Naked and Famous, if you go more than 3 months, let's say 100 wears, you're going to reach diminishing returns. Like that's the maximum amount of time you think that
that's what I would say. A lot of people like to go even longer than that. But yeah, 3 months, I think you're getting very high contrast fades. For me personally, that's like you're walking the line in between keeping them clean and making them last longer and still getting those nice high contrast fades.
Great. Are there any like health risks with not washing your jeans for a long time? I'm sure some people are just horrified.
No, I wouldn't say so. There's actually a study that a guy who was really into raw denim, he did a study on his jeans and he actually measured the bacteria levels. And after about 2 weeks of wear, there was no appreciable difference in the amount of bacteria that was on his jeans. So even though he had a pair that he had worn for a full year and not washed, it still had roughly the same amount of bacteria as a 2-week pair that he had worn. So after a certain point, they're not really getting that much dirtier, but it's still a good idea to wash them, every once in a while, because if you don't wash them, you're pretty likely to get one of these holes.
Yeah, even if you insist that you don't care about dirt and that you can withstand any bacteria that your jeans can throw at you, nonetheless, you're going to get holes in your jeans if you don't wash them. So even if you have no fear of bacteria, I'm sure you don't want to puncture your precious jeans that you spent so long trying to fade well. So that's a reason to wash them. Now, what if I am someone who doesn't like the idea of going 100 days without washing my jeans? If I wash them every week, they will fade, but they'll fade differently.
They're still gonna fade, you're just gonna have a more even fade. So when you wear them for a long time, you get all these creases and they stay creased in the exact same place. So as you're wearing them and moving your legs, that crease, the indigo is wearing out, you're starting to see the white coming through. When you wash them more frequently, every time you wash them, the fabric softens up a little bit. So you won't get quite as stiff of these creases, and the indigo is going to fade more evenly across the whole jean. You can see on a lot of these pairs, the thighs are usually a lot lighter than the calf because there's not as much the fabric touching your skin, and you know, your thighs, you're touching them all the time, so it fades more up there. But if you wash them more regularly, the color between these two areas is going to be more similar, so you'll have a more even fade.
How do you wash jeans for the ideal fades?
So we recommend you wash them with cold water, you turn them inside out, and you hang them up to dry. You want to keep them away from heat because that might shrink them, and it's honestly not great for really any fabric. And we recommend turning them inside out to help preserve a little bit of that color. Also, depending on what type of washing machine you use, particularly a top loader with a spindle in the middle, the jeans can get wrapped around that spindle and it might produce some weird fades. So if you turn them inside out, that's going to happen on the inside, and the outside is going to stay the same way.
I've seen a lot of you know, Japanese like jean specific detergents, like the ideal detergent for indigo or whatever. Do you recommend particular detergents for this, or?
I don't. A lot of those detergents, the main thing that they're doing is they're preserving the color a little bit more. So if you want them to stay a little darker, yeah, you can use a dark detergent like Woolite Dark, and there's a lot of denim specific ones as well. But personally, I just use Tide.
I've seen some really obscure like old Japanese websites that are impossible to shop through for me. And like people will say this is the only place to get your detergent if you got jeans, like really niche ones. But you think just any detergent that has like preserving color as its priority, that's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's gonna help them keep a little bit darker.
Okay.
So yeah.
Don't you want as much of the color to come out as possible to fade them?
Well, it really depends. Personally, I view washing as an important part of the fading process. I actually want them to get a little bit lighter as I wash them. So that's why I use just a normal detergent. I don't use a dark detergent. And I actually put a little bit of OxyClean or maybe just a cap full of bleach in there because I find that makes the blue really bright in a nice color. Yeah.
A cap full of bleach?
Yeah, just a little bit. The washer is going to dilute that, so you're not going to end up with any weird patterns or anything like that. But maybe just a touch in there is going to brighten it up a little.
Very interesting. Now, what about the folks who they would never put their jeans in a washing machine? They say you should soak them in a bathtub or even freeze them. Is any of that effective? Does that do anything?
The freezer is definitely not effective. You can put your jeans in the freezer, and that's gonna, when you pull them out, they might not smell as much, but you actually haven't killed any of the bacteria and you haven't removed any dirt. So as soon as you go into like a warm environment, they're gonna start smelling again.
I thought it killed bacteria at least.
Maybe a little bit, but I don't think in an appreciable way. The washer is definitely gonna wash all that dirt and grime out and do a better job of cleaning them.
Tell me about soaking. Is that a good way to clean them?
Yeah, a lot of people like to soak them. Largely soaking is gonna help change the color a little bit. If you do wanna do like a hand wash, you gotta get some sort of agitation, some sort of water running through the fabric, because that removes the actual dirt. A soak is gonna remove some of it, but I think you should at least like rinse them pretty well or agitate them around a little bit in the tub.
So why would people just let their jeans sit there and soak in a bath and that's their way of cleaning? They're not agitating it or anything, they just weigh it down with some shampoo bottles, and that's how they say this is how I'm gonna clean it.
Some people are afraid of what I was mentioning earlier, the washer creating like a weird pattern or a weird fade on your jeans. I'm not too scared about it, so I just throw them in the washer, just make sure that they're inside out. But yeah, if you're extra cautious, if you have like a really nice pair of jeans and you don't want the look to change too much, hand wash is gonna be a little safer.
Is there anything with how to wear your jeans? Washing aside, is there any like lifestyle like ways you should, what you should do in your jeans that's gonna affect the way it fades or improve the way it fades?
It's my personal belief that if you wear them every day, repeatedly, they're gonna fade a lot quicker than if you allow them to rest. If you have a rotation and you're wearing multiple pairs of jeans at once, I think they're gonna fade a little bit slower. But if you wear them every day repeatedly, they're gonna fade a little quicker. Another thing that I like to recommend to people is when you're done wearing them at the end of the day, rather than folding them up or just leaving them in a pile on the floor, hang them up and get a little air circulating through them. That helps them dry out a little bit, and that'll help them not smell as much when you're waiting in between washes.
Anything else? How to get great fades?
You just gotta wear them. Wear them as much as you can. Wear them as long as you can. Repair them when they need a repair, and don't forget to wash them at some point. We don't like to recommend that you never wash them, because yeah, you're pretty likely to get a hole.
All right, cool. All right, from the horse's mouth, Mr. Naked and Famous. Well, from the store of Naked and Famous anyway in New York City. If you are in New York City, I encourage you to come down to Naked and Famous SoHo because Naked and Famous doesn't have a ton of stores in the US. And also the floors are covered in Japanese selvedge denim and there's this whole wall of fades here. And it's definitely, this is a mecca for guys who are into raw denim. It's definitely worth stopping by. And there are also a couple other raw denim shops in SoHo and East Village as well. So do a little tour. I do it quite regularly when I'm trying to buy some jeans. And yeah, Naked and Famous, man, it's really just an awesome denim company, and I have many, many pairs of this. I'm wearing mine right now. And it's definitely a good starter brand if you're just getting into this kind of stuff. And also, if you want the more extreme stuff that guys who are more experienced in denim like, they also have some of the most extreme fabrics as well. Again, I've got a video on that's in the description below. That's it. Thanks for your time, Z.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, thank you very much. Subscribe if you just went up here. And yeah, Naked and Famous has a YouTube channel as well, so I'll put them in the description below and you can check them out as well. Thanks for watching.